Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome back to English with Aisha Siddiqui. And today we'll be starting a very new topic of English literature. And I am referring to this book that I've already shown you all in the previous videos. That is English Optional FYBA, wherein I am going to start the second poetry with you all. I have already completed Sonnet 29 of William Shakespeare. I have also done the question answers of it and comprehension, all the explaining of the poetry and how to frame the answers from the poetry. Now, this is the second poetry that we'll be doing, and the name of the poetry is The World is Too Much with Us. By the statement, I mean, the title of the story of the poetry itself explains that the world, that means the world around, is too much with us and we are losing on something from the world. Let's see what it is. And it is written by William Wordsworth, another great writer, author, poet. In the previous videos wherein I have done the first poetry of William Shakespeare, I have explained all of his work and why was he known as the national poet. And all his work was also shared. Same I'll be doing with William Wordsworth. He is also a very great poet, and we'll be seeing in which of the parts he is best. Okay, so The World is Too Much with Us by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth. Let's see. So this picture is of William Wordsworth. He was a major English romantic poet who, with Samuel Taylor, helped to launch the romantic age of English literature. So it was him, and through him, the romantic age of English literature started. And that is why he was known as the romantic poet, because most of his work was related to romance, drama, wherein he started the age of romance. So let's see a little bit of his history. That means he was born to John Wordsworth. The picture is here, and Cookson. So you can see he actually resembles his father. Here is William Wordsworth. Here is his father. Okay, let's see what is Romanticism, as he was given a title of romantic author or poet. So, what do you mean by romanticism? Use of creative imagination. Because when you have to bring in romance in a movie or in a story or in a poetry, you really need imagination. Focus on nature. So, romanticism does not only define one thing, that means a romance of a girl or a boy. So, romance can be of different types. Here, William Wordsworth actually focuses on nature, importance of myth and symbolism. He symbolizes one part of the nature or something else and he writes on it and he emphasizes on that symbol. Focus on feelings and intuition. What do you mean by feelings? So he is romantic writer, right? So too much of emotions and feelings are in his poetry. Then freedom and spontaneity. So in his poetry, you will not see that he's very limited into some thing. He thinks out of the box, and his poetries are definitely out of the box. Simple language. Now, he does not use a very difficult language like William Shakespeare, wherein he actually uses a little tough language. But William Wordsworth uses little simple language for people to actually relate to them. Personal experience, democracy, and liberty. So he actually was more in the politics way also. That's why he has written many of his work on democracy, liberty, and on the nation, and also his personal experience. Then fascination with the past. So why the past is related to the present and future, and he's very fascinated by what all he's done. So let's see the poet's attitude towards the poetry. In this poem, that is, The World is Too Much with Us, William Wordsworth's irritation and concern that the humanity does not relate to nature is most evident. What do you mean by this? That means he is showing a lot of sadness, a lot of irritation. The poet is actually irritated, and all his helplessness is being shown in the poetry, that he is concerned too much with the nature, and he's saying that humanity does not relate to nature. So they're too much focused on work, money, family, and so that they do not get time to relate to the nature. As a nature lover and advocate by his profession, so we know that William Wordsworth was an advocate by profession, and he was a great lover of nature. He wants everybody to be able to love and appreciate the way he does. So he wants others also to appreciate nature as he does. Wordsworth believes that nature is the most interesting part of the world and it must be explored. Of course, it must be explored. But nowadays, we do not have so much of time, right? We are so much into earning and busy with our work that we do not even realize that God has given us such a beautiful world to look around. Each and every creation of His is unique in its own way. But we do not have time for all that, right? And we are busy and busy in our own life and stuff. And if we actually take a holiday and go out and just live out the nature, we will be at our fullest. This poem is one of the many excellent sonnets Wordsworth wrote in the early 18s. So he had written in his 18,000. So, in those years. Sonnets are 14-line poetic inventions written in an iambic pentameter or pentameter, sorry. So sonnets are a 14-line poem. In Sonnet 29 of William Shakespeare, also I explain you what do you mean by the meaning. I mean by the word sonnet. It is actually a song, a little song of 14 lines that is written. All around him, Wordsworth saw people who were obsessed with money and with man-made objects. These people are losing their powers of divinity and can no longer identify with natural world. Now he has said that people are obsessed with money and man-made objects. It's just he has written it long, long back when I think it was not even the case. Now, if he was alive and he was looking at the world right now, he would actually realize that it's more than that, that the people are really obsessed with money and materialistic things, that is man-made things. Now one phone that we are using, the iPhone 7, iPhone 8, and by the time we suppose we bought it in a year and we're using it in through 2 to 3 months or into another 6 months, there is another one released, and then we do not like ours, and then we want the other version of it. So unsatisfying. The thing that we just bought with so much of money, so much of interest, and so much of excitement when we were buying that product, right? Then we started using it and we loved it. But as soon as the other version of it came out, we started liking the other one, and we were not yet satisfied with the one that we bought, and we were 6 months back or 6 months ago so happy and excited to buy that product, right? So it has become so unsatisfying. People are unsatisfied with the things they have, even though they have a lot of things and they are having the best things, still they are not satisfied with their things. They want more and more and more, because the technology at one side is the best thing also. But if we think in a negative way, the negative impacts of technology has also brought us down, that we only care about new things and new technologies coming and all the man-made and materialistic things, and we are not focusing on the real nature of our life, or on the real purpose of a life, to live out in nature. So this is the main purpose of the poetry, that people are so obsessed with man-made things that they are not being able to identify that their life is attached to nature actually. This idea is portrayed in the famous lines. Let's see what is the line of the poem that is portrayed. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. That means we just are getting and spending. We are earning money, we're spending it. We're earning and we're spending it. We are just wasting our powers in these two things, earning and spending, earning and spending. Rather than that, we can enjoy our life also, but we are only focused on these two things. Little we see in nature that is ours. We don't actually worry about the nature outside that is actually made for us by God. Wordsworth believes that we have given our hearts, the center of ourselves, away in exchange for money and material wealth. So, what is the poet saying? The main purpose of the poetry here is that we have given our hearts away only for money, materialistic things. We want to buy this and that, even though we have so much of clothes in our wardrobe, but still we are wanting more and more. So we are not satisfied. And because of all this spending, earning, spending, earning, that we are not focusing on nature. He is disgusted at this, especially because nature is so readily available. Why is he disgusted? That means he is trying to say that if we actually focus on nature, nature is the thing that God has provided for us. So everything is available in nature, but still we are going behind man-made and materialistic things and not focusing that from nature we get so much. The raw materials that we are, the man-made things that we're using, the raw material of that man-made thing is actually come out from nature. Then in the end, Wordsworth decides that he would rather be a pagan in a complete state of illusionment than be out of touch with nature. So what he's trying to say, I would rather be a pagan. That means he just does not want anyone just roaming here and there. And rather than being away from nature, I don't want anything else, and I just want to be around nature. Now, this is the poetry um, of William Wordsworth, and I'm going to read that aloud, and then we'll be seeing what is the theme of the poetry and also the conclusion of it. So I will just read out the poetry here. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon. The winds that will be howling at all hours and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not. Great God, I'd rather be a pagan suckled in a greed outworn. So might I, standing on this pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn, have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, are or hear old. Just a minute. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we lay our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. Okay, I was below down. I just started reading again. Have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. Have sight of Proteus rising from the sea. Or hear old Triton blow his wrath horn. We make the world too complicated. Now on this side, one side is the poetry, and the other side is just a translation into a more simpler language for us to understand. Let's read our language now. We make the world too complicated. The world is too much with us. That means we are making the world too complicated by just making it a means of money, spending, and earning. So it could be little more simpler. We are wasting our natural talents on luxury items. So if we go out and live in nature, we will get to see our talents that we have lost by just earning and spending and doing nothing. We see nothing relatable to ourselves in nature. We've sold our souls to material things. So we have actually given out ourselves, whatever we have, our nature, our life, to the materialistic things and leaving out the nature. The moon shines on the sea. If you see that scene when the moon is actually reflecting it's shining on the sea, you will love it. You will actually get relief from all the worries of earning and money and what all material things you need in life when you see all these natural things. And I'm pretty much sure, because I have when personally, I work a lot, the whole week, the whole month, for few months, I actually take a break and go out only to live out nature, not to roam around here and where. Yes, we go out for adventurous things as well, but only for nature. You sit, be around the nature, and you will love it. And you'll think that, what was I doing? It was just earning and spending. So the powerful winds consistently calls out to us, are pushed aside like dead flowers. So we are actually pushed aside like dead flowers. So here you can see, you must have seen the movie Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. In that movie, it is actually shown the character of Hrithik Roshan in that, the actor Hrithik Roshan. What is shown in the movie? That he works day and night for money. So much he works and so much he earns. And still he's not happy. Having all the materialistic things in his life, all the money, and he's so rich and everything he has in his life. But what happens at the end? He is not happy still after having so much. When he goes out with his group of friends that he loves, and when he spends time with nature and adventure, that is the time when he realizes that I was losing a lot, and if I would not have come on this trip, I would have just lost myself, right? So sometimes we really need a break and go and experience what nature, what God has gifted us. For these reasons, we are not in sync with our surroundings. It does not phase us. I would rather be suckled into an outdated religion. So the poet has said that I don't want this life. I would rather be just left out somewhere in nature. So I would be standing in this meadow, and this would make me more happy. So he would be alone with nature, and it would make him more happy rather than being around people just talking about materialistic things. I would be able to see the gods of the ocean and feel their powers with nature. So, if you actually have been on a beach alone in a calm environment and you see those waves coming up and down, you actually feel the power of God and who has created the oceans and the waves and the forces. So, it really makes you and God connected. So, you actually feel that someone is in great authority above you, and you start praying. Let's see the rhyme scheme here. So whenever you want to see a rhyme scheme, you see the last words. When they are just the opposite, they sound just similar, so you can mark A. So let's start with the first line, that is soon. So we have written A over there. Now anything relating to soon, soon, boon, toon, woon, whatever is there, you have to mark A. So let's see. Soon, this next line is pause. So does not match, right? Ours does not match. Boon, it matches. So soon and boon matches. So soon and boon both are A. Now let's assume pause as B. Let's see. Pause and ours, they are matching. They are rhyming, right? So B, both are B. Let's see some more soon, boon, moon we can see. Again, it's an A. Pause, ours, ours, that is B, and flowers is also B. So soon, boon, moon, and tune, again there's an A. Now another one, that's B. So B is not even related to A, that is soon, and not even related to B, that is pause, ours, flowers. Nothing relating, so we are marking it as C because it's more different than A and B. Now B, Lee, C. This all comes into the category of C rhyming scheme. Now, a new one has come, that is outworn. So It is forlorn and horn. These all three are coming into the category of D. So the rhyme scheme is A, B, B, A, B, B, A, C, D, C, D, C, D. It sounds funny, but it is a way of putting on the rhyme scheme. Yeah, there are marks in the exams for rhyme schemes as well. Let's see what is the theme of the poetry here. Don't waste your precious life with the issues of society when there is a world beautiful of nature waiting to be discovered and appreciated. So do not waste time on just earning, spending, materialistic things, and all those problems and issues of families, societies, friends. Just leave it aside. See, you can, of course, you have to earn for a living, right? So you can earn for a living and do not be unsatisfied what you want. You earn, you get your things that you require, your necessities, and be satisfied with it, and completely leave that thing aside and go out and experience the nature, and do not participate into all the issues of the society, family matters, this matters, that matters, and just leave it and discover and appreciate the nature that God has gifted. Let's see the conclusion. It was Wordsworth's emotional power rather than his range of intellect that made him famous and influential. So it not always you have to use a lot of cunning mind or so much intelligence to be very famous. Sometimes even your emotional power can bring you heights that made him famous. He defined poetry as the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings arising from emotions recollected in tranquility. To him, poetry was an overflowing of emotions onto paper that he wrote, and by refusal to conform to the rules of the society. So he removed all the rules of the society and he just wrote out all his emotions. This belief, along with his inspirations, allowed his talent and emotions to run free. So sometimes, yes, your emotions really matter. If you're emotionally attached to what you're working, you will really work more harder and you will work more towards success. So we also need a little emotional. Nowadays, we are working and working, and we are so much practical that we have lost our emotions. So not to be over emotional that you get attached to things that you are going to leave you, but yes, emotions nowadays are important as we are losing our emotions nowadays and we are focusing on more practical life. So even the emotions can bring you to success. So practical plus emotional brings you success. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel below by ringing the bell, and you'll get more information on the topics of BA English, optional English, and also common topics of grammar, English language, communication skills, personality development, and you will learn a lot. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for being here and listening to me. Have a great day.